It is now 56 years since I experienced 10 minutes of the most horrible fright that ever since then I tremble at unexpected noises and am afraid of the dark. On that fateful day, as I was walking on the street, I met a friend to whom I was deeply attached as a youth, but he seemed to have aged much more than I. His hair was quite white, and he walked with a noticeable stoop. He apparently noticed my surprise, for he told me of the misfortune which shattered his life. He fell madly in love with a young girl and married her, but after only a year, she died suddenly. He was so affected that he left the chateau and never returned. Now he asked me to do a great favor for him. There were some very important papers in his bedroom desk in the old house. So important that he would trust no one but me to go for them. He gave me the key of the room and the key to the desk, both of which were locked on the day he left the house forever. The 2 packages of letters and roll of papers were to be found in the first drawer on the right of the desk. Since he was less than an hour's ride on horseback, I readily agreed. The weather was glorious. I cantered over the turf, listening to the birds. I entered the forest and walked my horse. When I reached the house, I was shocked by its condition. The open gate drooped on its hinges. The walks were overgrown with grass. The house itself was badly in need of paint, and the shutters drooped sadly. I finally got the door open and entered. I climbed the creaky old stairs and recognized the door described by my friend. The room was so dark, I could distinguish nothing. My nostrils were offended by the disagreeable moldy odor. The room was in total disorder. As my eyes became accustomed to the light, I found the writing desk. I opened the proper drawer and began searching for the documents. As I searched, I seemed to hear, or rather feel, something rustle behind me. Then another slight movement sent a disagreeable chill over my skin. As I was about to pick up the 3rd packet, I heard a long, painful sigh just over my shoulder. I leapt up like a madman and turned about. A tall woman, dressed in white, stood gazing at me. Such a shudder ran through my limbs that I nearly fell backward. Then she spoke. "Oh, sir, can you save me, cure me? I suffer frightfully." She held out a tortoiseshell comb and murmured, "Please comb my hair. I suffer because my hair pulls so." I took the comb, then her long black hair. It felt as if I were handling snakes. I don't know how long I combed those icy, slimy locks. Suddenly, she snatched the comb and fled through a closet door. It was as though I had awakened from a horrible nightmare. I burst open a window and sprang to the closet door. It was closed and immovable. I had a mad desire to flee. Seizing the 3 packets, I dashed from the house, leapt on my horse, and galloped away. When I reached my lodgings, I shut myself into my room to reflect. I had almost convinced myself that I had been the victim of hallucination, when, by chance, my eyes fell upon my chest. Around the buttons of my jacket were entwined a quantity of long, black, slimy hairs.
For some people, a dare just can't be turned down. Little Charlie was like that. How he got to be 8 years old, I'll never know, because he was always doing fool things that other fools thought up for him. One rainy night, we were huddled in the leaky shed that my father had nailed together, and we got to talking about the miser's gold. Little Charlie said,
I don't believe that old story. I think he was just a lonely old man and he didn't have any gold at all.
Just to argue, I said, if he didn't have any gold, then why did some people think he did?
Because some people are just as dumb as you are, and so are all the people who say his ghost haunts the old house. I don't believe in ghosts, and even if there were any, I wouldn't be afraid of them.
Well, what could I say after that? In that case, why don't you just spend the night there and find out? Now, that was all I had to say, and I was sorry I said it. Little Charlie got up.
I'll take your dare, but you're coming with me.
Now, I don't take dares myself, but Charlie had made it a point of honor, and I do take points of honor. So that night we told our parents we were camping out and headed for the old house. The rain was coming down like it was trying to wash us away, so we were almost glad to get inside that spooky old place. We put our bedrolls on the bare, dusty floor and lay down. All of a sudden, the lantern blew out. Next thing we hear is groans in the next room, then footsteps, heavy footsteps coming closer and closer. The door opened. And standing there in the doorway was an old man with long, stringy hair and burning eyes. He was giving off a strange light, which was why we could see him in the dark. I shut my eyes because I didn't want to see him anymore, but little Charlie spoke up just like he was in the schoolroom. Good evening, sir.
Have you come for my gold?
The old man whispered. No, sir, little Charlie answered.
Then why have you come?
We came on a dare. When little Charlie said that, the old man started to giggle.
A dare? A dare? Well, that beats anything I ever heard of, even when I was still alive.
I opened my eyes and the sun was streaming in through the places where boards were off the windows. And there was little Charlie with a big bag in his hand. And you know what? That bag was full of gold. We never told a soul how we found the gold. But I will tell you this. After that, I never cared much for points of honor. And little Charlie swore that he'd never take another dare.